Hello and welcome to 310 to Left, presented by your New England Ford dealers and F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 49 years and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. Tom Caron along with Will Middlebrooks. Will, I came on the postgame show last night. I said, for those of you who've just gotten into baseball the last few weeks, that's called a Red Sox loss. That's when the other team scores more runs than the Red Sox, in case you haven't seen that before. I guess all good things must come to an end, but my God, what a ride and what an atmosphere at Fenway Park last night.
It's good to have the fan base back. Good to have our summer back, all of us included, right? I mean, this is a blast. Yeah, if you started watching baseball after July 1st, you didn't know what a loss was. It's crazy to go over a 3-week period and not lose a baseball game. It doesn't happen, especially with a team who we were talking about being historically one of the worst teams in Red Sox history when it came down to it. We're talking 100 losses plus. And then all of a sudden they rattle off 23 out of 29 games they win. And they're just right back in the thick of this and have a chance to fight for a playoff spot. Who knew it?
When the streak began, and we're going to dive into all of this, obviously, but when the streak began, they were in 10th place in the wild card standings, 6 games out. Now, after a 3-week stretch, 3 weeks of a baseball season, they are in the 3rd wild card spot with a 2-game lead over the 4th place team. They're just 1 game back of Cleveland. I think 3.5 of the Yankees, 3 in a loss column. And the AL East isn't completely out of sight because Tampa Bay hasn't run away and hide. So it's just amazing. I don't know if you felt it last night. I walked out of the studio in the 9th inning. The leadoff was Contreras to lead off in the bottom of the 9th. Yeah, he got on, and the place was full. Nobody had left. It was 38,005 last night, the largest crowd of the year, and I think it's been a while since they've been over 38,000. People were talking about the get-in price. People were scalping for $200-300 last night. We haven't heard that kind of talk around Fenway Park in a long time. But Will, I don't know if you guys felt in the booth. There was that bottom of the 9th. There was a feeling in the crowd that they were going to pull this off. Down 5-1 at the bottom of the 9th. You know, where a month ago they'd be up 5-1 in the 9th, and the crowd would be waiting for them to give away the lead, waiting for to see how it would fall apart. It was a completely different vibe last night.
Yeah, it was relatively quiet. They were waiting to explode for most of the game. When they scored that 1 run off of Bradish in, what was that, the 4th or 5th inning, the place went nuts. And then Contreras, later on hit the ground rule double to right center, fired the crowd up, got everybody going a little bit, woke them up. But yeah, the 8th inning, the 9th inning, the tarps came off across Fenway. The buzz was back in the stadium. And even we had that feeling of, this whole game has felt like they haven't had a chance. They were overmatched on the mound. Bradish was really good. Obviously, Rivera gave up that 4 spot and put them in a deep hole to start the game, which is always tough to come back from. But the way they've been winning these ball games over the past 3 weeks, it's almost like it didn't matter if they're down 7-8 runs. You're like, man, they have a shot, right? They have this fight and this just like scratch and claw their way to win mentality right now with this group, just like gritty dirt dog. You love it. It's fun, and the place could feel it.
Things going so well that it absolutely poured between games. Like, it was torrential, and it was coming in the 9th inning of the first game. And Eric Fisher, our friend who's a meteorologist at WBZ Channel 4, he had tweeted out to me that, you got about 40 minutes to get this game in, or you're going to be sitting around for like an hour waiting for the end of that 9th inning. And it was about 37 minutes into those 40 minutes when the game ended. And sure enough, 40 minutes on the dot, you saw how it opened up. But I mean, the rain came and left, and it was sunny for the second game. Like, even Mother Nature was on board with this thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. It was a fast game, too. The first game was 2:19, right? Chapman comes in, gets the last out. We're like, for the last inning and a half, we're looking out and we're watching the clouds start to move in from the northwest. And Lou texts me in the 6th and was like, "Hey, boys, it's coming. We're in Northborough. It's pouring here. We just had to quit Mason, his son's game. We had to run out to our cars because it's pouring. It's moving your way." And about that time, we looked up. We started to see here's some rumbles out there as Chapman was coming into the game, and he shut it down. And Chang made that nice play to end it. Literally, what was it? 7 minutes after the game, it was just a complete monsoon and puddles everywhere.
All right, when they came out of the break, what we said at the beginning of this homestand is the two things they hadn't done this year was win at home or beat American League East teams. We're sitting here now, and they've gone 6-1 in this homestand, 6-1 against American League East teams. So, I mean, really, there's no longer anything they haven't done. Are you all in on this team now? Is there any reason to worry that now that the streak is over, they're going to go back to the team they were a month ago?
They're not going to go back who they were. I mean, that's just not how baseball works. There's a belief in their clubhouse now. They come to the field expecting to win now, not playing to not lose. There's a big difference in that. I think a real leader has emerged in Wilson Contreras. And, this is something that takes time, right? It's his first year with the ball club. He can't just show up day one and be that guy. You have to build the trust and the relationships in the clubhouse. And Sonny Gray's becoming one of those guys for the pitching staff with his 14 years in the big leagues. And Wilson and you look at Caleb Durbin. I know he's in his second year in the big leagues, but these guys really respect him for what he went through his first couple months on this stage in this city. New team, struggled big time. Was one of the worst statistical hitter in all of baseball, and now he's one of the better ones over the last 40 games. So he's earned a lot of respect in there. I think at some point they have to add. They forced the hand of the front office. They're going to have to add somewhere, which is going to make them better. The only spots I worry, look, Chang and Siegler have come up and been those bridge players to cover ground while guys were hurt. That was their job. They've done a great job. The issue is when you're a young player, there's not a book on you. You come up and you can get exposed a little bit when their teams figure out how to get you out, right? They figure out, okay, this is what he's good at. This is what his deficiencies are. You've seen Siegler get a ton of breaking balls lately, not a lot of fastballs because he hits fastballs well. And he's struggled here over the last week or so with all the spin he's been getting. So that's going to be the adjustment period for him. So they're going to have to find a veteran player to come in with some pop, and probably, I'm guessing it would be an infielder.
All right, you mentioned Wilson Contreras, the leadership he's shown through all this. It was telling last night that Chad Tracy met with the media afterwards, and he said, I was all ready to go in and talk to the guys about the day off, clear your head, now it's over, let's keep grinding, can't let any of this. He said, I walked into the clubhouse, and Wilson Contreras was already giving that message to his teammates. Let's hear from Wilson Contreras himself. This is him after the end of the streak, after the split of the doubleheader yesterday. Wilson Contreras on 3:10 to left.
I think we can beat anybody. That's lesson number one. We are a good team that battles, team that are resilient, and team that stick together, winning and lose. That was a great ride, 15-game winning streak. There's nothing to be sad about. We have to be happy. We should be proud of what we did. And from now on, just keep playing the way we've been playing lately.
Chad said he was going to kind of talk to you guys after the game. And then he saw you and Sonny already doing it. Kind of, what was you guys' message to them?
Yeah, I think, I don't want anybody to feel down, number one. I want everybody to feel proud of what we did. We tied our record since 1948, something like that, 46. I mean, that's not easy to do. We make history. We play good baseball for 2 weeks or more. And we just lost one game. I mean, winning and losing is part of the game. I didn't want anybody to feel down, but I want everybody to feel proud.
You guys hadn't lost a game since July 1st. You mentioned how you feel like now you can beat anybody. You guys always had the belief, but how much was that kind of reinforced during this stretch, belief that you guys can do it?
I mean, a lot. I think we all learned from this. We all learned from this winning streak. The adjustment we made as a group and as a team was amazing. Offensively and defensively, and the pitchers are doing an amazing job. Tonight was a tough game, tough lose, but we have to turn the page, clear our heads for Friday, and keep playing baseball.
When you get in a run like this, is this some of the most fun you can have on a baseball field?
For sure. I mean, when you're winning like this, everything is fun. But of course, you have to be aware of the detail of baseball, because your head can get too big when you start winning like that. But as a good reminder, we have to be aware of the baseball details and take advantage of anything that we have to take advantage on the baseball field. I mean, I'm proud of this group, to be honest. I'm proud of my teammates. I'm proud of the coaching staff and the whole team. I think we are doing a good job.
Listen, what do you think it's done for the team's confidence and how the team thinks about itself and its potential?
I think we are aiming to keep winning games first. There's a lot of games we played. But our heads or mindset is to get to the playoff, being honest. That's what we play for. We play to win. You play to reach the playoff, and then if we reach the playoff, we go from there. But to get there, we have to win as many games as we can. And from this stretch, we learned that, like I said, can be anybody. We can trust ourselves. We have to keep picking each other up and keep making the adjustments. I think and talk the game. I think that's the way to go about it. And these guys are willing to listen. These guys are willing to ask questions, and they are coachable. That's another important thing.
So Wilson Contreras saying all the right things. And I think, that goes back to what you said before. That's not the way baseball works. I think what you get out of the last 3 weeks, Will, is just a different team identity. It's a team that believes in itself now, a team that has bought into doing little things, team at bats, as Alex Cora used to call them, right? Not worrying about your individual numbers, but knowing that if I sacrifice bunt, if I get a ground ball to the right side to move a runner from second to third and get him closer to home, that those things I give to the game will come back to me. That's just the way baseball works. And this team's now buying into that, Will.
Yeah, I love the brand of baseball. I think buy-in's a good term, and selfless, right? I mean, they lead baseball in bunts this month. It's a big reason they're winning games because they're moving runners, they're manufacturing runs. It's a hard-nosed, old-school style of baseball that's really an anomaly in modern-day baseball. So it's fun to watch, and it's also hard to combat as a defense and as an opposition because you don't play against that every day. Third baseman don't come in for the bare hand play on the bunt plays, trying to get the lead runner. Teams don't practice that much anymore, and you see why the lack of execution on the defensive side around baseball from whether it's pitchers or corner infielders on those plays because they just don't practice it. Because why would you? Nobody plays that way, right? That's why the Tampa Bay Rays are good. It's why the Milwaukee Brewers are good. It's constant pressure on a defense. And the first couple months of this season, you looked at this roster and looked at the philosophy hitting wise and the mentality and everyone trying to play like they're the Dodgers or the Yankees and bully ball, just trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And I get it. Fenway Park, the monster, I get it. That it's staring you down. You want to hit the ball over it, score runs. Homers are important. I get that. But you have to look at your roster and say, who are we? What are our strengths? What are we good at? And it's speed, it's small ball, it's a line drive mentality. You're going to run into home runs. You have guys in the middle of the order in Contreras, now Durbin, Abreu, guys that can hit the ball at the ballpark, but it means a lot more when there's guys on the base pass. You're getting the pitch count up of the opposing pitcher, and you're applying pressure constantly to the other team. And that's when they win a lot of baseball games.
And all of that in service to a pitching staff that has given you a chance to win every night, right? Like that's the key. That's why you can play little small ball and do little things because most nights you don't need 7 runs to win a game. And that's been the one consistent thing throughout. Even when they struggled, Will, this team could pitch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, and you're doing it without an ace since, April 25th was his last outing? That's crazy to think about, right? You've had some guys step up and, Craig Breslow takes a lot of slack from around this town. But if you really look back at some of the moves he's made, especially in the offseason, there were some really good ones. I mean, Wilson Contreras, Sonny Gray, Caleb Durbin, believe it or not. Kyle Harrison has come back to earth. He's been hurt a lot. He's not the same guy. All of a sudden, all the guys from that trade are making impacts on this team, and we're a big part of the winning streak to get this team back in the mix and in a playoff spot. And how about Jake Bennett? Right, this was a guy you thought he was going to be a depth piece. Comes over from the Nationals for Luis Perales, one of our prospects. And you think he'll make a couple starts, maybe comes up at the end of the year. He's a fill-in guy, maybe a doubleheader starter guy. No, he's one of the better lefties in the game through the beginning of his career to this point. He's a special guy, right? He gave up 3 runs yesterday. Probably should have just been 2. He stayed on, lost that pop-up in the sun, gave up a run on that. But he's just consistently very good. And to your point, gives like the rest of this rotation, gives you a chance to win every single night and takes the pressure off the offense to go out there and score 7 runs every night. They know a lot of nights they can score 3 or 4 and win a ball game.
All right, so the big question now, what do they do with the deadline? We got a week, a little over a week. It's a week from Monday. This weekend, you get Toronto coming in. We'll get to that a little bit. Last home games of July when you next play at Fenway Park after Sunday. The trade deadline will have already come and gone. So the question is, what are you doing? Are you willing to extend yourself or maybe make a painful thing to get a rental player? You mentioned Pena. You know, I mean, is it Ty France who's up at the end of the year going to be enough to move the needle? Like there's not a lot out there that's probably going to be available because so many teams are in it. And I'm not asking you to give me names, but can this team add a veteran impact bat to help this? How tough will that be for Craig Breslow to do?
Yeah, I think they can. I think with the infield versatility that they have with the players that are on this roster, regardless of the move they make, I think they can make it work with their lineup. Now, depending on the player and their defensive ability, it could be more of a platoon or opportunity to DH. It also depends on who leaves in the trade, right? So, but I'm leaning an infielder that can give you offense. Whether that Houston is still somewhat in the mix in their division. That division's not great, right? They're 3.5, 4 games out of that division, about the same out of the wild card. But there's guys like Zach Neto. That name's been thrown around. A lot of pop, right-handed bat. It would fit well at Fenway Park. The only issue there is defensively, he's one of the worst shortstops in baseball. Whether you go what metrics you like, outs above average, range, whatever, he's not good. But he can give you a boost offensively. Luis Arraez piques my interest just because I did not think he would be a good second baseman. He played a lot of first base the last few years. He's played second base in the past and wasn't good. Obviously, there were some adjustments made because he is much better defensively. He's 99th percentile in outs above average this year at second base, which is mind-blowing to me. You know how he's a wizard with the bat, right? He hardly swings and misses. He doesn't strike out. Kind of fits the mold of some of this lineup that we have right now, but I think they're searching for more pop, more power, more guys to drive in those other guys in those big spots. So then I start thinking more about Matt Chapman. That's a big contract. He signed for a lot of money. You would have to take on some of that, maybe work out some details in the trade. But then you run into the issue of, okay,
where does he play? Where does Matt Chapman play?
Now you have 2 essentially Gold Glove third basemen play, the way they're playing this year defensively. If you look at the numbers, Caleb Durbin has played a lot of second base in his past, coming up through the minor leagues, growing up, a little bit in pro ball. So that's an option, but it's also like, do you move Caleb Durbin off third base where he's been tremendous? And I think Durbin would say, hey, Skip, whatever you need, I want to win. You bring him in, I'll move over. We're a better baseball team.
Yeah, I just don't want to change anything with Caleb Durbin right now. He's been through enough.
But he's been through enough. He's the one guy I don't think it would bother. Like, there's such a Dustin Pedroia mentality of, like, whatever it takes, you can put me on the moon and I'll figure it out. Right? That's just who he is. So that's one guy mentally I don't think it would mess with whatsoever.
There's been a little talk out there about potentially a catcher, right? Just because some teams look like they might be, Sacramento, whatever the hell you call them, Athletics, have been able to, apparently the offers to Langeliers have gone nowhere. And you're going to be there next week. You're going to see him. You're going to see them. If you could get a catcher who comes in and makes that kind of difference, obviously that's a place you could add offense. The question is, a year ago we were sitting here, my God, Carlos Narvaez, what a find. Here's your catcher of the future. The disappointing offense this year surprised a lot of people. Can you get these guys, can you get more out of He and Wong at the plate this season? Or if you could get a guy who could come in and be your everyday catcher in that offense, would you do that?
Yeah, I would do that. Langeliers would be amazing. I think you're going to have to overpay in a big way, just based off of what he's making and what he's got left as far as free agency goes and all that. But same goes for Hunter Goodman out in Colorado, right? This guy's got 30 pumps already. He's not great defensively, but if he's hitting 30-plus homers, I don't really care. Knock in more than you let in. You still have to have a good relationship with the pitching staff, but if you're not throwing out base runners, it's not really the end of the world if you're hitting 30, 35 homers. But I think Colorado would be absolutely insane to trade him. I mean, he's the exact player they want to build around if they're rebuilding. He's making league minimum. He's a good player. He's costing you nothing. So I don't know why they would trade him. That just wouldn't make much sense if they're really trying to rebuild that.
And then there's my trade proposal, which I threw out on the air a week or two ago. You trade Connolly Early or Payton Tolle, Marcelo Meyer, the Portland Sea Dogs, and the Greenville Drive for Bobby Witt Jr.
Oh,
Okay, you give two of your minor league rosters along with not Webster. No, those guys are ready to help. All right, that probably won't happen. All right, but you know what's great? We're sitting here talking about who they might go get rather than who they're going to sell off, which is what we were talking about a month ago. What a sea change that's been. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We get a whole lot more just getting started here. 3:10 to left, presented by your New England Ford dealers. Will and I roll on after this. 3:10 to left is presented by your New England Ford dealers, who've been taking everyone out to the ball game at Fenway Park for decades. Catch Ford next time you're at Fenway, including in the Ford Clubhouse, a full-service bar perfect for bringing your lineup together and for recording our live edition of 3:10 to left. It's all brought to you by your New England Ford dealers and F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. Take a look at Payton Tolle this season. The record 5-6 belies really good numbers under the hood, what he has done. Just expanding his repertoire just enough so that the fastball plays. 89 2/3 innings on the season. If there's any question at all about Payton Tolle, it's just the workload. But obviously a guy who seems to be able to handle that big, strong frame. Payton Tolle made his first start after the All-Star break against Baltimore the other day. Wound up being a 6-5 win for the Red Sox. No decision. He pitched into the 6th inning, 8 hits. A little tired, it looked like. Maybe in that final inning, had been absolutely rolling before that. Who better to catch up with a guy who's so emotional and expressive on the mound than a guy who is so emotional and expressive on the mound? Our own Jonathan Papelbon caught up with Payton Tolle. Here it is on 3:10 to left, presented by New England Ford dealers.
All right, folks, I'm here with my man PT70. What's happening, brother? How you doing today, man?
I'm great. It's a beautiful day. Hopefully it doesn't rain on us. But
yeah, sugar melts, man. You got to be careful in that rain, kid. Sugar melts, man. No, but I want to talk to you, have a little conversation, just have some fun with it, man. First off, I really want to know, as a starter, like what's your pregame ritual look like? Go through what you do on a daily basis.
Well, it's changed over kind of the past year. Last year I was getting up way too early, walking around.
Yeah.
Got some good towns in the minor leagues here, so it's like at Greenville, I'd get up, I'd walk around, and then I found out quickly that we got to keep all of our energy for the game. That 6th inning rolls around, it's like, this year, waking up, getting something to eat, and I get to the field pretty early, just because I get bored at the house.
Yeah, me too, man.
But now it's do some homework, do the last little bit of review, and then it's get up, get in the weight room, start prepping, and try to crank up. Everywhere we go, we see how loud the speaker can get.
Oh, yes, dude. I was the same way, man. Yeah. When I get ready in the clubhouse, everybody was gone. I'd crank that thing up.
Oh, yeah.
Get it going, throw on some Metallica or something.
Yes, absolutely. So
what about any, like, superstition? You a superstitious guy, or you do anything? Like Beckett, let me tell you something. This kid, he would eat P.F. Chang's before every start. It didn't matter where we were. He'd find a club to go get a P.F. Chang. You do anything like that?
People have learned that the bananas have become a thing for me, but I try not to get too much into the superstitious stuff. It's a lot of routine stuff. I mean, routine can be sometimes a superstition, but sometimes not. But I'm always hopping over the line, and then if I give up a run, the other foot's going in the next inning.
Yes.
We're facing the other way.
Yes.
We're changing something.
I agree.
I joked with Jahmai the other day. He's like, "What are you gonna do next start after that start didn't go very well?" I was like, "Well, I'm gonna put the cleat on the other foot first."
Yeah.
And I actually did, and it worked out.
Yeah.
Try to not worry about the superstitious stuff.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. You're a guy that plays with energy, man, and that's what I love. I'm a guy that used to go out there, play with energy. We got a little something in familiar with each other. We get the fist pump going.
Yeah,
I love the
absolutely.
fist pump. So talk to me about your energy and your mindset when you go out there to pitch.
I mean, I think that a lot of the pace of the game is dictated by the pitcher, of whoever's in there. So I like trying to be free, be loose. I feel like that loosens everybody else up, but it also like I like getting fired up. I like having that jump in the game, especially whenever it's a big. I think about like bases loaded, nobody out, getting out of that jam, and then it's like adrenaline dump. Let's go. It's my way of like being in the moment, but also bringing everybody else with me into the moment.
Yeah.
So I like getting fired up. I have fun with it. But yeah, I got. Sometimes it's like I've learned you got to tone it down sometimes because it does that adrenaline dump.
Yes. It could be good and bad.
Yes, absolutely. So it's. We've learned, but we're getting better at it. We're trying to, keep it cool until we need it.
Me and Jim Rice at TC, we take side bets on the fist pump up in the studio. So I'm gonna be taking the over next time. So don't tell Jim that,
Absolutely,
right? All right. All right, man. So y'all are on a freaking heater, man, like none other. It's been amazing to watch, and I've been waiting for this. I've said all along, they weren't playing all three phases of the game together. And y'all are doing that now. Tell me what that's like, man, and tell me what it's like pitching with this fan base.
Yeah.
And I've been a part of a 12-game winter, and the fans, they just love it. It's a different type of fan out here. So talk to me about pitching in front of that.
I mean, it's incredible. You start to feel more and more that everybody's on the edge of their seat for every single pitch. Something that wasn't really happening early in the year. But now, everybody's hanging on to each moment.
Yeah.
And it's contagious, man. Whenever, an inning gets rolling, that crowd gets louder. You've pitched in big spots.
Yeah.
Pitching here in a big spot's not easy for an opposing pitcher.
No.
So it gets rolling, and we've seen some crazy moments happen along this run here, but. Yeah, it's intimidating too. This place gets on top of you quick.
Oh yeah,
it gets loud quick. So it's been a whole lot of fun to do it, and to be able to do it here, and hopefully going into this part of the year where we need people to give us that pat on the butt sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's been a whole lot of fun, and just I get to sit back every 4 days out of the week and just sit back on it
and just watch the fun, baby.
Just front row seat.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, the fans, they love you, dude, and don't change a thing about what you're doing. They love your intensity, and this is the kind of town where you pitch the way you're pitching, man, they're gonna love you forever. And maybe you'll get one of them rings like me, and we'll go eat and drink for free wherever we want, brother. Yeah, man. All right, let's talk a little about pitching, man. I noticed your cutter this year, man, has really come along, man. And you pitch, and your similarity is very similar to mine. You throw your four seam, you're not afraid to throw it up in the zone, especially the way the analytics are now with, the bat paths and everything. But talk to me about your secondary, what you've been working on, what you want to try to get better.
Yeah, the cutter's a relatively new pitch. It's something that I learned last year, really a couple weeks before I got called up. And it's starting to take a lot of strides now. We're starting to really rely on it more and more. Something that I worked really hard on the offseason with is change up. And I think we're not throwing it a ton, but we're throwing it enough to keep hitters honest with it. And then the curveball too, I think it's been great in pre-2-strike counts. It's been great in 2-strike counts, but just having the feel with it to land for a strike, help it be competitive.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me is we need secondary pitches that are competitive that can help make that fastball play.
Yeah, make the hitter switch gears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So speeding up guys, slowing guys down. So the changeup and the curveball have helped with that, and then the cutter is just keep guys off barrels. Two seam does the same thing. So it's keep off barrels where they can't just be waiting on that one pitch. Because I had those starts. I had that Arizona start last year. It was heater. It was just getting walloped around the yard. So
everything was hard.
Everything is hard, and now we got that change of speeds. We're working different sides of the plate, and so it's been, I still have a long ways to go, but I think
Yeah.
the foundations are there.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, for me, I had a guy named Kurt Schilling. I know you know who he is. He came along in my career. He showed me the split finger. I'm going to show you how I throw my split.
Okay.
It was just a glorified two-seamer, man. So all I did was, you're not choking it down. You're just right outside the two seams. And the best part about it is here's your rudder, right? If
Yep.
you want to cut it or sink it. But normally you keep that thumb in the middle. But to me, the best part about it is I could throw it just like my fastball,
Yeah.
man, and there was no difference.
Yeah.
So that made me turn into a pitcher that could go out there and make hitters switch gears and everything. So that made all the difference in the world for me. And
that's
I know
pitching, that's not throwing.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. And so I know once you figure out that off-speed pitch and
Yeah.
you get it, man, you're the limit for you is the ceiling, right? And you could be making all-stars and taking this team to who knows where, World Series. So keep working on that, man.
Absolutely.
And I want to end up with, you just got married, brother.
I did.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been married for 25 years, man.
It's awesome.
And just want to tell you this much, Devin, she's gonna always be right.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
don't ever forget that, man.
Oh,
so
yeah.
congratulations,
I'm
man.
learning quickly. Put the lid down, light off every time I go in the bathroom.
Yeah.
We're learning.
Yeah. Gotta learn quick on the fly, man. Well, I appreciate it, PT.
Absolutely. Thank
I
you.
enjoyed it, man. Keep up the good work, man.
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you.
right.
Welcome back. 310 to left, presented by New England Ford Dealers and F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 49 years and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. Tom Caron back with you. And the Red Sox obviously burst into the playoff picture with that incredible 15-game winning streak. It has now come to an end. They will try to get up after the loss and get going. Probably a good time for a day off. Toronto coming to town, final home games of July. So things are getting real by the time they next take the field at Fenway. The trade deadline will be behind them. Prior to the trade deadline, Craig Breslow making some moves here and there to try to help things around the edges, find guys who might be able to help. Jahmai Jones, the outfielder, one of those players in his first start, his first at-bat as a starter, second at-bat overall for the Red Sox, hit a 2-run home run, part of that magic of the ride that we watched over the 15-game winning streak. We are now a two-Jahmai town. Jahmai Webster, of course, who was our OG Jahmai, caught up with Jahmai Jones and had a conversation. Jahmai Jones, by the way, saying that Jahmai Webster was the only other Jahmai he has ever met. Here it is on 310 to left, presented by New England Ford Dealers.
Happy to bring you history as we have Jahmai Jones with us. Great to have another Jahmai in the midst, that is for sure, man. And we'll get into a lot of that as far as the name, etymology and all that. But what's the origin of how you came about knowing yours? I guess what your parents told you.
So it came from the Bible.
Mine as well, which is
First Chronicle, verse 7, chapter 2.
Yep.
One of the king's sons, and my dad told me it means the Lord protects. So they wanted to kind of bestow that name upon their children, and make sure that we understood where our name came from and what it meant and everything like that. And maybe I needed a little bit more protection than my siblings. Maybe they thought so, but yeah, that's the origin.
Yeah.
For us.
Another meaning is also warm-hearted. Man.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got that energy from you right away. So you're living up to the name, and I love that because my parents thought the same thing.
Right.
So it's great to have you here with that. And there's plenty of Toms, around Warner, Selleck, Cruz.
Right.
Plenty of Jims as well. Palmer, Brown,
right.
Rice. Plenty of Jonathans too.
Yeah.
But Jahmai is certainly unique, and it's not very many people that you run into. But you said I was the first person that you came in contact with that you were aware of had the name.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, obviously born and raised in Atlanta, and I don't think you run into too many Jahmais down there, to say the least. But yeah, no, you were the first that I've met in person. Obviously, someone's got to have your name out
right,
there.
I mean,
so
yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever had their name be the only one in the world. There's too many people, man. But yeah, so I think running into you for the first time, I saw it on MLB one day, and I was like, I was like, they said my name, and I kind of like turned around and looked at the screen. I was like, I'm not playing right now.
Right.
And sure as heck enough, man, saw you there, and I was like, ain't that something?
Man, that's amazing. At what point did you really begin to appreciate the name that your parents are getting you? Because nobody ever gets it right the first time. So I always run into that and trying to shorten it for people to make it better.
Right.
But then as I got older, I was like, you know what? This is my name. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the definition, the meaning behind it. But at what point did you begin to appreciate it?
I think I began to appreciate it the minute I truly understood the meaning behind it. And for me, that was probably like maybe late elementary school, maybe like 4th, 5th grade, where like I truly started to understand and whatnot. And then, but the same thing, I went by Jam a lot of my life, and I still have friends that, call me Jam to this day. So, I shortened it as well, but it was always kind of like the running gag in the classroom if there was a substitute teacher or something that was coming in.
Oh, yeah, I know the struggle, man.
And everybody kind of looks over and they're like, is she going to get it right? Is he going to get it right? No, they didn't. So then we'd all laugh and kind of make a joke out of it. But no, I mean, I love my name. I think it's unique, or I should say our name.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's unique, and I think it's just something that is almost like a talking piece, kind of introductory to somebody that you don't know that might pronounce it wrong, and then you get a chuckle out of it, and it kind of breaks the ice and the tension a little bit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be so. Did I get that wrong? I'm sorry. It's like literally no big deal. You are not the first person to get it wrong. So, but no, I think late elementary school, early middle school is when I really started to understand why and just take pride in it.
Yeah, 100%. It's about the same for me as well. But as we shift the conversation to now some of the accolades on the field and the baseball opportunity, how much are you just coming into this new thing with this squad and just appreciating the opportunity that's in front of you?
Yeah, dude, I love playing baseball. I really do. And the fact that I get another opportunity to wear a big league uniform, I'm always grateful and always take my job very seriously while trying to enjoy it as much as I can. And to be able to come here with the history behind the team, how the team's playing right now, it's special. It really is. And to be able to, again, just do that and help this team continue to win and make a playoff push is all I want to do. So,
you mentioned, just the lefty opportunities were a little bit sporadic early on in the season with the Tigers. Coming here now, second at bat, I mean, you go deep. It was, storybook stuff, right? But how much has being around this squad, being around this coaching staff, hearing a new voice for what you can do in your abilities, how much has that helped you kind of reset the page?
Yeah, I think that's just kind of the best way to put it. It's just to reset the page, It feels like you get a fresh start, and it's like the way I look at it is like, you might hear the same thing over and over and over again, and then eventually your parents tell your coach, and your coach tells you the same thing, and it sounds different. And so that's kind of how I felt like I just needed a reset, kind of a mental reset, and get in here, get around some new minds, new coaches, new teammates, and kind of bounce ideas off of each other. And next thing you know, one thing leads to another, and I put together a good AB, and I just want to kind of keep it rolling, get back to myself. Honestly, I know that when I'm myself and I'm doing my thing, like I think I can kill it at this league. So just try to do everything I can to keep doing that, and eventually just get back to playing my normal game.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Let's go all the way back with how you even found your way into this game, because your dad played at a high level in football, played into the National Football League. Your two brothers, receivers in the NFL as well. How did you become a baseball player?
So it's kind of the age-old question, isn't it? Everyone kind of asks me the same thing. I think it just stemmed from, I loved playing football. I really did, but I just felt like I was the happiest when I was playing baseball, and I really didn't like the constant comparison to my brothers. I felt like anything I did, no matter how good or how bad, was always kind of ricocheted off of what they did, and I didn't want to ride in their shadows. Being the youngest boy out of the boys in our family, you always felt like that way. And so being in sports and whatnot, it was always, you're so-and-so's little brother, you're so-and-so's son, oh man, this and that. And I don't know, I just wanted to make my own identity. I felt like I got tired of the never being acknowledged for me rather than being someone's little brother, which, don't get me wrong, they've had a huge influence on me.
Right.
Huge influence on the man I am today, who I am athletically. I had a unbelievable example of what hard work looked like, what dedication looked like in front of me, but kind of wanted to create my own path and chose the baseball route.
310 to Left is presented by your New England Ford dealers, who've been taking everyone out to the ball game at Fenway Park for decades. Catch Ford next time you're at Fenway, including in the Ford Clubhouse, a full-service bar perfect for bringing your lineup together and for recording our live edition of 310 to Left. It's all brought to you by your New England Ford dealers and F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years and the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. Welcome back to 310 to Left. It is time now for a game plan for success presented by Mass Mutual. Scan to learn more about their Grand Slam giveaway. Enter and see the official rules at massmutual.com/Red Sox. Garrett Crochet hasn't pitched since April 25th. The last time he took the mound was the last game managed by Alex Cora. Tried to come back in June, kind of pushing things a little bit. That didn't work out, and at this point, he is not even throwing. So you start to wonder if you will see Crochet back at all this season. Crochet addressed those concerns with the media this week.
How you feeling?
Good. About probably week 3 of no throw right now, no plyos or anything, and making a lot of progress in the strength department. Right now, it's just constant dialogue in terms of, whether it be next steps, planning out when, a throwing buildup would occur to get me to a certain date and make sure that I'm able to be on the field, and just kind of, I guess, looking at what that picture looks like, but also how to get to throwing.
And that's the next point I wanted to make is, the team was in a totally different spot, I think, the last time we spoke with you.
Yeah.
How does it feel to watch this and know you want to be a part of it?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I still haven't been in the dugout yet for this run that we're on, that I won't go into too much detail about it, but no, it's incredible. I think the guys have been kind of hitting on it already. It's kind of somebody different, getting it done every night. But it's, everyone leaves camp, feeling confident about the team, and we weren't, I guess, exempt from that. We left camp feeling like we had a really good group. And that was the entirety of big league camp. Obviously, this year we've had to call in some guys that didn't break camp with us, but I think that they kind of performed the way that they were, either recruited to the team or acquired, and the way that they showed in camp. Everybody here is, just Willie said the other day, pulling in the same direction. And everybody's got one goal, and that's to win. It doesn't matter if your day didn't go as planned, as long as we get the team win. Everybody's feeling good about that.
What the trainers would need to see to let you throw, or is it more based on how you feel? Or
to be honest, I don't really have an idea. I think, just with the setbacks that I had in the past, we've been rightfully cautious. For me, I'm just kind of doing what I'm asked.
Why did you go from plyos to no plyos?
Just not really making the progress that we were hoping to see. Felt like I was kind of, doing the two things at once, plyos and also strengthening. Felt like I kind of just reached a point where I started to plateau, and on that pace, there wasn't. We've kind of felt like it was just going to extend the time that it would take to strengthen my shoulder to be able to really advance in throwing.
I know you don't like to call them young guys, but the pitchers with a little less service time than you, how much do you enjoy what they've been able to go out there and do?
Yeah, it's been great. Personally, I was hitting on Bennett and Tolle a lot in spring. I think that Bennett surprised a lot of guys. I don't think he's surprised himself, but he's been throwing the ball incredibly well. All the lefties that we got in this room, I think that they've done a good job kind of picking Ranger's brain and watching him work, as well as just learning from each other. A lot of rotations these days. This was the first rotation I'd ever been a part of where there was another lefty, and there were quite a few of them. So it's nice to be able to kind of watch how a guy works and pick his brain post-start against the lineup you're going to face the next day. And it's just, I think it's creating a lot of opportunity for growth in everybody.
You feel like it's kind of a toss-up that you'll be able to put together this season?
It's tough to say. I'm not going to make a claim like that.
Is it surprising that that's like in the realm of possibility? It might be
a little bit, yeah. It sucks to I understand why you asked the question. It sucks though, because like I remember when I went on the IL originally, I was like, maybe I'll just miss one start, and then the way that the injury just kind of matured, especially with the setback following the first ramp, it matured to a place where, you know, like I said, it's just completely different from the original diagnosis, which sucks. But the shoulder's complex like that.
What is the current diagnosis?
The same. Nothing's changed in that regard.
So, I mean, I think initially it was just called inflammation.
Yeah, the capsule. Yeah. The lat was super minor. Never really felt like that was what was holding me back. It was really just like strengthening the cuff to help support the capsule so it's not doing the bulk of the work.
All right, bring back Will Middlebrooks here. Last year, they got 32 starts, 205 innings out of Garrett Crochet. To think that they will have just rattled off 15 consecutive wins in a season in which he's made 6 starts and thrown 30 innings, has an ERA over 6, is almost mind-boggling, because this was the one sure thing you thought you had in the rotation. And Will, I hate to be a little bit of a pessimist here, but nothing he said there made me feel good about his return anytime this season.
Yeah, I'm with you, TC. I don't want to go that route mentally. I already have a little bit just with the setback, number one. And then, his tone scares me a little bit. Now, obviously, there's still a couple months left in this season, but it's not like, as you know, oh, I feel good. Okay, cool, I can pitch next week. Doesn't work that way. It's like, oh, I feel good. Now I can start stretching out my long toss. Then I can throw flat grounds. Then I can progress into bullpens. And then you have to progress the pitch count through live batting practice and then rehab starts. It's a long process once he starts throwing. He's not even throwing plyo balls against a trampoline right now. So it's a long ways away. I mean, in a perfect world, all that can start moving soon so that hopefully he can make a start or two at the end of the regular season. So if you do get into the postseason, you're able to have him at least make a start or two. So you know how important he can be. Remember how he was in New York last year. I mean, this is like elite of the elite on the big stage, and you need that guy. But obviously this is a longer term thing. It's so easy to just look at this season and say this right now for Garrett Crochet, but this is a long contract and somebody who's going to be the ace for a while here. So you don't want to rush it unless it's ready, and then you run into bigger issues.
It's a great point. You bring out just the time of it, right? I mean, everything you said to me sounds like 5+ weeks from when you pick up a ball, and he hasn't picked up that ball yet. So every week longer before he can begin the process, you're extending 5 weeks down. So you've got 3 or 4 weeks to be able to get it started in order for those 5 weeks to land before the end of September. I mean, you're just kind of running out of time. And he'd have to, we got to be sure he's not just going to pick up the ball and be an ace again. He had a lot going on. Obviously, the injury was affecting how he's pitching his arm slot. We had talked about that, the change there. There was a lot going on with him before the injury, and it's not going to be that easy to just jump back out there and be the 2025 Garrett Crochet.
Yeah, it's spot on. Spot on. Yeah, it's just, to your point, it's like the next 3 to 4 weeks, if it doesn't get going, probably not going to see him this season. And it's going to be hard to him make his first start. If it is in the postseason, it's going to be really hard for a guy coming off the IL. They're going to worry about adrenaline, him trying to throw too hard, re-injuring it. So I don't know. Luckily, they've had the guy in Jake Bennett who stepped in and got Garrett Crochet-like results, right? Yeah. Maybe not the same fiery fastball, throwing 99 miles an hour and striking out 12 guys. But the results are the results. They're either scoring runs or they're not. And Jake Bennett's filled in nicely.
And watching how excited he gets about it on the mound has been a thrill for all of us. It's unbelievable.
They call him the Pink Panther.
I love that, the Pink Panther. Chad Tracy said, you watch him come off the mound, he's like the Pink Panther. He's as cool as you can be. I've never seen a young guy that composed.
Well, I saw a shot of the bench during the Durbin home run, and he was smiling. And it took me a second to realize, who is that? Because I'd never seen him. I realized I'd never seen him smile ever before.
Right. But smiling.
He took 102
Everybody else is
liner.
Jumping up and down. Go ahead.
I was saying he took a 102-mile-an-hour liner off his stomach.
Yeah.
In his start yesterday. Didn't even flinch. Just enough to say, don't come out here and bother me. To the
After
bench.
the game, he was like, it hit me square in the stomach, but, whatever. I had to make my next pitch. That's all right.
Go
get them. All right, well, good stuff. The streak is over, but the fun continues. Toronto rolling into town. As always, fun to catch up. We'll see you at the ballpark, Will. Thanks.
You got it, TC.
All right, Will Middlebrooks with us. We'll see you next time on 310 to Left.